It is truly the end of an era as Hulk Hogan, the 80s superstar who helped take pro wrestling mainstream, has died.
The professional wrestling world is in mourning following the sudden and heartbreaking news that WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan has passed away at the age of 71. The man who turned professional wrestling into global pop culture, who headlined WrestleMania after WrestleMania, and who gave birth to Hulkamania, a cultural phenomenon that defined a generation, has tragically died of cardiac arrest. Hogan's passing marks the end of one of the most iconic lives in the history of sports entertainment. A symbol of power, charisma, and the purest form of showmanship, Hulk Hogan was more than just a wrestler. He was a movement, and his loss leaves an irreplaceable void in the hearts of millions of fans across the world. Emergency response: what happened to Hulk Hogan? According to confirmed reports, emergency services were called to Hogan's Clearwater, Florida, home early Tuesday morning. A family member dialed 911, panicked and emotional, reporting that something was wrong with Hogan. He was found unconscious and unresponsive, having apparently suffered a sudden cardiac arrest while at home with his wife, Sky. Paramedics arrived within minutes. Hogan was carried out on a stretcher, placed into an ambulance, and transported to a nearby hospital. Despite immediate CPR and advanced life-saving measures, Hogan was pronounced deceased at the hospital shortly after arrival. His family, wife Sky Daly Hogan, daughter Brooke, and son Nick, were reportedly by his side or notified within minutes. The news was first confirmed to WWE executives, then released publicly through both Hogan's family spokesperson and WWE's official channels. WWE's official statement. Shortly after Hogan's passing was confirmed, WWE released a formal statement. WWE is saddened to learn that WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan has passed away at the age of 71. One of pop culture's most recognizable and beloved figures, Hulk Hogan helped turn WWE into a global sensation during the 1980s and beyond. His charisma, strength, and unmatched energy made him a household name around the world. WWE extends its heartfelt condolences to Hogan's family, friends, and millions of Hulkamaniacs everywhere. Tributes pour in, wrestling legends react. Among the first to react publicly was Ric Flair, Hogan's longtime friend and in-ring rival. His emotional statement was posted across his social media accounts just hours after the announcement. "I am absolutely shocked to hear about the passing of my close friend, Hulk Hogan. Hulk was by my side since we started in this business. Our friendship has meant the world to me. He has always been there for me, even when I didn't ask him to be. No one will ever compare to you. Rest in peace, my brother." The statement, raw and full of grief, quickly went viral. It struck a chord with both old-school fans who watched Flair and Hogan battle in the 80s and newer generations who recognized the brotherhood they had built over the years. A career that transcended wrestling. The birth of Hulkamania. Hulk Hogan's rise began in the early 1980s, transforming WWE, then WWF, from a regional attraction into a global juggernaut. His charisma, physique, and catchphrases made him a cross-generational hero. Children idolized him. Adults respected him. Advertisers lined up to work with him. The moment that solidified him as a legend? WrestleMania 3, where Hogan famously body-slammed Andre the Giant in front of over 93,000 fans at the Pontiac Silverdome. From there, Hulkamania ran wild. The red and yellow. The real American anthem. The training, prayers, and vitamins. He became a pop culture icon, appearing in films like Mr. Nanny, Suburban Commando, and Rocky III. The NWO era and beyond. Just when fans thought Hogan's career might fade with the early 90s, he reinvented himself in WCW. Turning heel in 1996, Hogan co-founded the New World Order, NWO, one of the most groundbreaking angles in wrestling history. From good guy to bad guy, from beloved hero to rebellious leader, Hogan remained at the center of attention, and at the top of the industry, for over 2 decades. He would later return to WWE in the early 2000s for a final run that included matches with The Rock, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels, all while being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2005. Rumors of declining health, the calm before the storm. In the weeks leading up to his untimely death, whispers had begun to swirl around Hulk Hogan's health. Despite his trademark strength, it had become increasingly evident to those close to him that something wasn't quite right. Fans began speculating online after Hogan was seen moving more slowly at public appearances, reportedly using assistants to walk off camera. Rumors spread across social media and fan forums suggesting the legend may have been quietly dealing with serious cardiovascular issues, possibly linked to past surgeries and decades of wear on his body. His wife, Sky Daily Hogan, took to Instagram just 2 weeks before his passing to shut down the speculation. "Terry's heart is strong. He's resting, recovering, and focused on getting back to doing what he loves. Please don't believe the clickbait, he's doing great." Her optimism brought relief to fans, but tragically, the truth was far more complicated. Behind the scenes, Hogan had been in and out of consultation with cardiac specialists and was undergoing tests for irregular rhythms and arterial blockages. He had also reportedly postponed an upcoming appearance due to doctor's orders. In the end, the rumors weren't just gossip, they were grounded in reality. And while Hogan had always kept his personal health battles quiet, the sudden cardiac arrest that took his life brought those concerns into the light with devastating clarity. For a man who had survived wrestling's most brutal era, inside and outside the ring, it was not an opponent that finally felled him, but the quiet and invisible toll of time. A 10-bell salute, WWE honors its immortal. In response to Hogan's death, WWE has moved swiftly to orchestrate what promises to be one of the most emotional tributes in company history. On this Friday night's edition of SmackDown, the show will open with a 10-bell salute in honor of the man who turned wrestling into a global spectacle. WWE's production team has been working around the clock to prepare a night fitting for a legend of Hogan's magnitude. The show, which is being broadcast from Boston's TD Garden, is expected to draw one of the most emotionally charged crowds in recent memory. Scheduled elements of the tribute include a video montage featuring Hogan's greatest moments, body-slamming Andre the Giant, facing The Rock at WrestleMania X8, his unforgettable promos, and his emotional 2005 Hall of Fame speech. A highlight reel of Hogan's epic WrestleMania entrances, set to a newly composed orchestral version of Real American. On-stage appearances by current superstars and Hall of Famers including Triple H, John Cena, Charlotte Flair, Edge, and Randy Orton, all of whom grew up idolizing Hogan and credit him as a primary influence in their careers. Pre-recorded messages from stars like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, who are unable to attend but wanted to offer their heartfelt tributes. Triple H is expected to deliver a personal address in the ring, reportedly focusing not just on Hogan's career, but on the man behind the mustache, Terry Bollea, the father, the husband, the mentor. The crowd will almost certainly erupt into a chorus of chants. H again. H again. Echoing one last time across the building like the roar of an arena that knows it's saying goodbye to something truly irreplaceable. The legacy lives on. There will never be another Hulk Hogan. He didn't just wrestle, he defined what wrestling could be. Before marketing teams, brand partnerships, and social media empires, there was one man ripping his shirt, cupping his hand to his ear, and drawing 80,000 people to their feet in unison. He was the face of a generation, not just to fans, but to the world at large. He appeared on lunchboxes, in cartoons, action figures, and mainstream movies. His voice boomed from televisions and his image was stitched into the pop culture fabric of the 1980s and early 90s. Before The Rock became a Hollywood box office king. Before John Cena appeared in Pepsi ads and Fast and Furious sequels. Before Roman Reigns headlined global tours. There was Hulk Hogan. He made wrestling cool. He made it global. And he made it profitable. But more than anything else, he made people believe. In a world full of struggle, Hulk Hogan stood as a cartoon come to life, a symbol of optimism, strength, and defiance in the face of adversity. He told us to say our prayers, eat our vitamins, and never stop fighting. Even when times got dark, he was the yellow and red light guiding people through. Conclusion: rest in power, Hulkster. When you look back at wrestling's greatest eras, the 1980s boom, the Monday Night Wars, the ruthless aggression period, there's a name that echoes through all of them. Hogan wasn't just part of the story. He was the chapter title. He could be loud. He could be brash. He could be controversial. But he was always real. Always larger than life. Always present. He lived the way he wrestled, bold, dramatic, unforgettable. And though he's no longer with us physically, his voice, his style, and his energy live on in the DNA of WWE, in every young wrestler chasing a dream, and in every fan who ever stood on their couch delivering a leg drop to a pillow. To millions, he was a hero. To wrestling, he was the foundation. To his family, he was simply Terry, husband, father, friend. As tributes continue to pour in from around the globe, and WWE prepares for a future without one of its greatest architects, one truth remains unshaken. Hulk Hogan may be gone, but Hulkamania lives forever. And so we close with the words that defined him, that inspired generations, and that now ring as both a farewell and a promise. What ya gonna do, brother, when the memories live forever? Rest in power, Hulk Hogan. The ring is quiet now, but your roar still echoes. Your legend. Immortal.